I'm going to give you just a quick snapshot of Kingsford Legal Centre. Can't pass up the opportunity of telling you about our achievements. 2011, we gave advice to 1,800 people. We opened 30 law reform projects in issues such as discrimination, human rights, Aboriginal constitutional recognition, among many other issues. We also did 100 community education projects. And in terms of our teaching, we educated 130 students who did an elective course through Kingsford Legal Centre, either in employment law, family law or community practice. And we also gave 400 ethics students a snapshot clinical experience of interviewing real clients, which is a unique experience in law faculties throughout Australia. The purpose of the renovations was to facilitate greater connection between staff and students, open up the centre and make it lighter, brighter, and also to enable us to have more students, ethics students, particularly on our evening advice sessions. You'll see that we've got a greater capacity for students at the workstations in the area behind you, just up towards the waiting area. So it's working really fantastically, and I'd really like to thank Brooke Predabon, particularly the General Manager of the Law Faculty, and also all of the facilities management, Peter Cleary particularly, and James Craft, who's the architect who has been with us today, for all of your really hard work and excellent results. We are loving our new premises and really enjoying that flow. So thank you. Thank you to the Law Faculty for enabling that. I'm now going to hand over to Carolyn, who's going to say a few words, and then we'll hear from the Minister.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to KLC. It's fantastic that so many people have come out, even though it's a wet day, and I know a lot of the staff, I shouldn't say, but don't come in on Fridays. So it's fabulous to see so many people here. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to the Minister, Peter Garrett. Thank you, Anna, for inviting us today. Now, I wanted to congratulate Kingsford Legal Centre, not just on getting the great new refurbishment, which is quite an achievement in itself, but for all the things that they've been doing and all the hard work that they've been putting in over the years, and will continue to do so. And hopefully with the new premises, that will become even better. I was going to say easier. It will never become easy, but hopefully it will be easier to work in the new conditions. KLC's helped many clients, and the figures that Anna's given you give you some idea of that. And it's been a true resource for the community in terms of people needing legal advice and legal assistance. It's also contributed hugely to the development of clinical legal education in Australia. Nothing's ever said about clinical legal education without Kingsford being involved, and more generally legal education. Kingsford and the people at Kingsford have been really involved in that. KLC's also helped many students, as Anna mentioned. It gives them a taste of real lawyering, which then makes real for them their studies in the classroom. It brings to life the people behind the cases, the people behind the policies, and the people behind the theory. And that, so many students say, is a really important thing. After a couple of years of law school in the classroom, coming down here just really opens their eyes to what it's all about. So literally thousands of students have been involved with KLC over the years, through Law Lawyers and Society and through the various clinical programs, including general clinical programs, the employment law program, and more recently the family law clinical program. And while KLC's been a great experience for those students, what it means is that KLC has an influence far wider than UNSW Law School. As those students take their experience into law firms, large and small, into government departments, into NGOs, into international work, and into their communities, it means the Kingsford experience is then part of the background of more and more members of the community, and that can only be a good thing. So congratulations, Kingsford. And when I say Kingsford, of course, I'm talking about all the staff, including the past staff who were here and the more recent staff. So thank you, everyone who makes Kingsford possible, who does the work here. I hope you enjoy your new refurbished premises and continue to do the great things you've been doing. I'd now like to introduce the Honourable Peter Garrett, Minister for School Education, Early Childhood and Youth, who's been kind enough to come here today to help us launch the refurbished KLC. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you very much, Carolyn and Anna as well. It's a great pleasure for me to be here to officiate, I guess, in some way over the refurbished premises and to say what a huge difference I know it will make to people who are working here and also to those who come in seeking advice. I can see some associates, colleagues and friends here, George Williams, Tony Bowen and others. I'm really struck by the fact that one of the original and compelling visions of those first initiators and establishers of the law school here at the University of New South Wales was that the law should be the servant of the people, and that it was particularly important that those who otherwise don't have either the material or the intellectual capacities or attributes should in no way be denied their full and appropriate rights both in our legal system and in our democracy. And Kingsford Legal Centre has been for many years the absolute, in practice, personification of those forming ideals that were a part of the establishment of this law school a long time ago. So it's a huge pleasure for me to come here and to celebrate and acknowledge your achievements, the work that you're actually doing here, and also the fact that you're operating clearly in a place which is a little lighter and a little better to work in. I'm an alumni of this law school, and so of course I have connections with this university that go back some time. But as the local member for Kingsford Smith, we've also got, if you've got any legal problems, this is where you go, in our window when people come into the office. I'm thinking that there are tremendous opportunities for people who work in the law to significantly advance the rights of citizens, whether it's from an extremely personal and difficult matter of engagement in the criminal law system or rights of appeal because of decisions that have been taken that affect individuals, or whether it's for classes of people. And it's absolutely appropriate that recognition should be given to the start of Reconciliation Week. Let's just think briefly about the way in which lawyers played such a purposeful and important role in enabling Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to get a fuller expression and protection of their rights over time, both through constitutional and legal challenges, through the participation in the drafting and the contesting of legislation in the Parliament, and ongoing in the work that a variety of groups are doing around the country, and the pro bono support that's sometimes given to Aboriginal people as well. Lawyers have played a really important, constructive and I think laudable role in advancing the appropriate rights and interests of Aboriginal people, and that's just one example. So I'm really pleased to be here amongst you. Not only am I the Minister for School Education and Early Childhood, I'm also the Minister for Youth. And I can tell you that one of the interesting things for me is that we really try, from a government perspective, to have a framework of engagement for people so that they are able to participate fully in the society and in the community. Now, some of you may not be surprised when I tell you that one of the really crucial things that I quite often think about is the extremely poor levels of adult literacy that we have. And you would often get people here, I'm sure, who just haven't been able to fully understand or contemplate either a contract or an interaction with the government department or whatever it might be. They didn't read it, they might not have understood it. Developing literacy and numeracy capacities amongst our adult population, of course, starts when they're youth. It starts from an early age. It starts by having an education system that provides the appropriate levels of education and teaching so that people have those capacities. But it also means hopefully gearing up and equipping people with some of the skills that they will need when they come into a complex modern economy with all of the interactions and challenges that arise. So the work that you're doing here is really, really important, Anna. I've got to tell you, it's work that I appreciate from my perspective as a Cabinet Minister and as a Minister for School Education and Youth. It's work that I appreciate hugely as the local member for Kingsford Smith, because some of my constituents become your clients and are well served by you. And it's ultimately work that I truly appreciate and acknowledge as an alumni of this law school, as someone who takes the interests of law and its appropriate uses very seriously, as you do here. So congratulations, everybody. I'm delighted I could be a part of this new refurbishment.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those kind words. And I just want to make one final comment, just to note that Tony Bowen from Randwick Council is here, and a special welcome to you, but also just to note the connection that your family has with this Kingsford Legal Centre, that in 1987, when the previous Kingsford Legal Centre was being renovated and opened, your father, Lionel Bowen, opened those renovations for us. So thank you. Your presence here today is particularly meaningful to us, and we are sorry for his passing.
Delighted to be here.
Thank you. So please enjoy the morning, and thank you all again for coming. Thank you.